Hey there, this is Kim De La Rosa, and you are listening to Mindful Help, the podcast where we talk about science-backed research on how to balance mental health, wellness, in your everyday life. And if you are new, welcome. If you are an avid listener, you're going to notice that everything's new. The podcast is new, the image is new, all is new, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Change, new, old, and moving forward. You ready? Let's go. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for giving me your time to be here on my podcast. For those that are avid listeners, like I said before, or even for people who are just here for the first time ever, hello, how are you? I have started this new season, and I wanted this new season to just do a whole revamp. My podcast, which was called Deep Magic for a while, changed the name because I wanted this platform to be not just intentional on the information that I share with you, but I wanted to be mindful of understanding that wellness and health are different journeys for different people in all different aspects. And obviously, I wanted to address that this is a health podcast, I mean, Deep Magic was an awesome name, but it didn't really vibe with what I was talking about. So I wanted to make sure I was clear, that I'm intentional, and that whatever information that you hear from me here is going to be about health and wellness. It's going to be about people that I've talked to, from doctors to athletes to physicians to holistic coaches. All of the nuggets of information that I receive from all of these amazing people, I will be sharing it here with you. So you don't even have to go on Google or anything. You could just come to this podcast, listen to the episodes, and take whatever information that resonates with you and your life. Now, that being said, there are amazing research and information on the previous episodes. So if you're new here, I do recommend going, scrolling back, looking at the other episodes and listening to all the little nuggets of truth that are there, because it is some amazing research. But from here on out, of course, this is going to be the new name. This is going to be the clear message that I am here to just give you all of the amazing information and research and habits and tips that you can implement in your day mindfully, so that your health and wellness journey is a personal experience, and whatever information you take, I hope it just resonates with you and your just well-being. Now, with that being said, starting this process was a little bit scary because I was constantly crippled with fear of, oh my God, how is this gonna turn out? Like, how are people gonna portray this and something like that? And I wanted to address that because this is something that is very common for a lot of people, not just in their whole wellness journey, but just in their everyday life, trying to rediscover who they are and how they want their life to be. And I think a lot of the times when we have these ideas of wanting to change the way we live our life, what's stopping us from making those changes is the worries and concerns of other people. And sometimes they can be family members, sometimes they could be friends, or sometimes they could just be imaginary people that you have in your head of like, this person's gonna judge me, of if I were to say this or do this or say no to this event or whatever, and it's not even our fault, a lot of it. I mean, some of it is our fault because obviously we have to take responsibility, but we were programmed to care about what other people thought about us. And it's been just ingrained in us forever, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, I have to be concerned with the opinions of others in order to get some type of success or get some type of validation. I have to look a certain way, be a certain way, or anything like that. And while there are some cases that that's true, especially if you're an athlete, for example, or just a public figure like in politics, but that's another story. But But it's also understanding that if we care about the opinions of others, then we will always be unhappy. If we care about what other people are going to think and say about what we're trying to aspire or what we're trying to become, we will never get there because we are just going to be so consumed with how people are thinking about you. And that is the secret to this life, is not caring. And it's going to sound so bizarre, but it's really giving yourself the freedom of understanding that 9 times out of 10, no one's looking, or 9 times out of 10, like no one cares. And it's not really so much as in a way of just being, no one cares about you. It's almost like everyone is too busy with their own lives and their own troubles and situations and issues that they're going through, that 9 times out of 10, if we do get some type of comment, it's a projection of their current emotion at the time. But also understand that if you do have people in your life who are going to ridicule you, or if you have people in your life that are going to make fun of you, or they're going to tell you that you are just being silly or you're not good enough or anything like that. If you do have people in your life who behave that way whenever you're trying to make a change, then I would consider that as a red flag moment. I would consider that as, okay, if I'm not comfortable sharing my ideas or sharing my viewpoints or sharing just this new thing that I want to attribute to my life that is going to help me grow and be a better person. If the group that you're around, if they're not a safe space for you to do that, then that's a sure sign that maybe you do not need to hang out with that person or those people. It's also a way of understanding that at the end of the day, people are going to say whatever they want to say regardless. So whether you are going to be the most perfect example or picture perfect person of what your group or your family or what society is asking of you to be, you can be the most 100% perfect version, and there will be someone who will have an issue with it. I think one of the quotes that I love the most is from Dita Von Teese, who said that you can be the most juiciest, ripest peach in the whole tree, but you're still going to find somebody who hates peaches. So it's like you can do whatever, like anything that you want, and whether you're going to have good comments and bad comments, it comes with the territory. And the secret is understanding that people are going to say whatever the hell they want to say, whether you're doing something good or whether you're doing something bad. They're going to say it. They're going to talk about it, whether it's to your face or behind your back or on social media or even in private. Like they're going to have opinions. They're going to say stuff. It's just inevitable. So if we understand that reality, if we understand that, hey, whether I do something good or bad, there's something or someone's going to have an issue with it. That's when you give yourself the freedom to say, well, if they're going to talk about it anyway, then might as well just do it, right? Because if you're preventing yourself from not achieving a certain goal because you're afraid someone's going to say something bad about you, it's like newsflash, they're going to say something bad about you, even if you do a good thing, So it's allowing yourself to understand that reality, but also embracing the idea of, oh, so then I can continuously change and it doesn't matter because people are going to say whatever they want to say. Not to mention, human beings in general are naturally born to evolve. We are born to adapt to our surroundings, to adapt to our ways of life. We're born to live life with purpose. And what that purpose is, only you can figure it out for yourself. Every single person has a different purpose within themselves. But we deny ourselves for even exploring that purpose for fear of what people are going to say. And if anything, if you need permission, I will give it to you. I am giving you permission to just go for it. To seriously just go for it. Because the worst thing that can happen, honestly, is somebody saying something about you, that's literally not that bad. Like as long as you are not sacrificing, your values or sacrificing your finances in order to make a huge change or shift in your life, then 9 times out of 10, it's all mental. And we have control over our minds. We have control over the stories that we tell ourselves, not anybody else. So just understand that change is inevitable. Change is never a bad thing. Obviously, change, I like to put it as life equals change. So there will always be ebbs and flows of changes. The older you get, the longer you stay on this earth, the more you will be willing to change, and the more sometimes you're going to have to change depending on your life and the path that you've chosen. So, of course, you're going to make mistakes along the way. Of course, you're going to try something out and it doesn't work. And of course, there are going to be people who will probably make fun of you when you try something out and it doesn't work. But again, the whole purpose of it is you are living your life for you. You are living your life in the mindful way of not having anyone or anything dissuade you from living your purpose and your dream. And if that is something that's going to definitely enhance your life for the better, then it is absolutely 100% worth it. So look at your life now. Think about the things that you want to try. Think about the things that you dream about, that you're just like, wouldn't it be so cool if I did this thing? And then think about what is stopping you. If it's something financial, write it down. If it's, crippling anxiety or imposter syndrome, write it down. Like write down what it is that you want to achieve. What is your goal? What is something that you're just like, wouldn't it be so cool if I can try this, that you just dream about, that you just want to do. And then write down all of the fears that are stopping you. And you're going to figure out that once you write it down and it's on paper, they're not so scary, because 9 times out of 10, when you write down those fears, a lot of them is, I'm afraid that I'm going to fail, or I'm afraid that I don't know enough about this. I'm afraid that I don't have the money. I'm afraid I don't have the time, or I'm afraid that I'm going to look foolish or something like that. And all of those things are honestly something that you can control. You can navigate that in such a seamless way, in a way that is designed for you. But you have to be willing to know that when you step foot into the arena, when you step foot into living your dreams and knowing that change is going to have to happen and that people are not going to understand the change that you are making, if you are aware of it and you're just like, okay, this is it, I'm just going to go forward, that is ultimate freedom. And there's another wonderful quote that I just love where it's like, freedom comes from discipline. And what that means is just in order to live your dream, in order to do the thing that you want to do, that you've just been idolizing about, you have to understand that there is work to be done and that there is change that's going to happen. So you have to discipline yourself to understand that change will happen. People are going to come and go, but you are living your purpose and your dream. And as people leave, new people will come in that will align with who you are as a person and what your goals are. And it is going to make life just even more spectacular and amazing. So thank you so much for taking the time to come and listen and get some little wellness nugget of truth to take into your day-to-day. If you like the podcast, if you have any questions, please subscribe, give some stars on Apple Podcasts. It's also available on Spotify and on Anchor, anywhere where podcasts are available. You can find Mindful Health there. Also, if you have any questions or comments, go to KimberlyDelaRosa.com. And a special announcement, I am going to be doing some Q&As because I've been getting a lot of questions on social media, which thank you so much. But if you have any questions regarding health, wellness, where I get my research, any programs, even personal questions, definitely just email me at kim.delaro@hotmail.com, or simple, go on social media at Kim Delaro. Send in your questions, and who knows, I'll probably make a podcast for that. that'll be fun. So hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.